Kamala Harris did a town hall yesterday on CNN, and she dropped the hammer on Trump and straight up says, yes, Donald Trump is a fascist. Let's take a listen.
Donald Trump at the lead.
You've quoted General Milley calling Donald Trump a fascist. You yourself have not used that word to describe him. Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I also believe that the people who know him best on this subject should be trusted. Again, look at their careers. These are not people, with the exception, I think, of only Mike Pence. These were not politicians. These are career people who have served in the highest roles in national security, who have served as generals in our military, who are highly respected. Talking about the person who would be commander-in-chief, not to mention what we know and what they've told us about how he talks about the military.
So I think that there's a reasonable discussion to be had here about Trump's a fascist versus he's a fascist wannabe. There is no doubt whatsoever that Donald Trump's instincts are towards fascism. The authoritarianism, the ultranationalism, the cult of personality around him, his disdain for liberal democracy when it's inconvenient, the demand of complete and total loyalty, which means never questioning anything he says or does by those around him, the willingness to use intimidation and even to incite his followers to violence against those who have disagreements. So there is no doubt that these are Trump's instincts and Trump's desires. Whether it is wannabe fascism comes down to what he's been able to do and what he would be able to do if he had a shot. Fortunately, Trump, when he was president, was not able to completely consolidate power, where you would see, for example, the military saying, yeah, we're going to keep you in the Oval Office even though you lost. We didn't see that, fortunately. The other aspect to this is that Trump knows so little about everything. He has no deep knowledge about anything that he has a conviction to do. There's kind of a lack of a coherent ideology. But if Trump were allowed to rule as he wants to rule, certainly fascist would be an appropriate and accurate term. Now, during this town hall, Vice President Harris was also asked about some of Trump's other dangerous authoritarian ideas, and she addressed Trump's enemies list and contrasted what she will have instead.
Understand that, again, in 13 days, the American people will decide who is the next president of the United States. In 13 days, you will decide who is sitting in the Oval Office on January 20th. And on one hand, you have in Donald Trump someone who has increasingly proved himself to be unstable, and who, as we have established and the people close to him have established, he is unfit to serve. Somebody who, on January 20th, you can be sure, will spend full time, like we know, and we've seen the image mentally of him sitting in the dining room off of the Oval Office, watching for hours as people violently attack the Capitol. You can be sure, because he has said he would weaponize the Department of Justice to go after his political enemies, that you can look at a Donald Trump in the White House after January 20th, sitting in that Oval Office, plotting his revenge. He has talked about the enemies within. We haven't even raised that subject, Anderson. The enemies within. He's talking about the American people. He's talking about journalists, judges, nonpartisan election officials. He has talked about, as John Kelly has talked about, can he send the military after peaceful protesters? And he's going to sit there unstable, unhinged, plotting his revenge, plotting his retribution, creating an enemies list. I'm going to tell you, my list will be a list of how I address and continue to address the issues that you all are raising this afternoon and evening. It will be a to-do list about how we can impact the American people and lift up.
A to-do list rather than an enemies list. I don't know if it's going to be enough to win this thing, but in the last 48 to 72 hours between this town hall, the interview with NBC, where Kamala Harris was sort of goaded into playing identity politics and said, people can tell I'm a woman, people can tell my race by looking at me. I don't need to talk about that. I talk about policy. Some excellent appearances for the VP over the last 48 to 72 hours. Trump's got Rogan coming up. rumors that Kamala Harris will also be on Rogan. We'll see how those go, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow. But at least as far as the last few days, some very strong appearances by Kamala Harris. Will it be enough? Well, we'll find out in about 11 days. Let's take a quick break. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. And the program will continue if I have anything to say about it. From Saudi blood money to shady crypto schemes, we shouldn't overlook any of Trump's scandals. Trump barely understands the concept of crypto himself, in the past having called it a scam. And now Trump conveniently found his way into one of the least regulated markets on the planet. Using the platform Ground News, I can see even Fox News isn't sold on this. Their headline says, Trump crypto venture unveiling stirs skepticism. Our longtime sponsor, Ground News, compiles news sources for each story into one place so you can make up your own mind instead of being limited by the loudest and most biased opinions around you. Ground News breaks down the ownership and biases influencing each source's reporting so you can sort out for yourself what the truth is. So while Trump's fans keep rallying around the idea that he's a self-made billionaire with America's best interests at heart, you can follow Trump on Ground News and see all the ways that his family exploits public office for personal gain. Go to ground.news/Pakman now to get 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I use. The link is in the description.